Okay, so in today class, we are going to start LLM. Okay. As of now, what we have covered, let me give a very brief recap. So, in last 2 to 3 classes, we try to cover the basic Python, what are the Python concepts. We have seen data types, numerical, string, Boolean, a list, tuple, dictionary, okay, and different operations, how to deal with list, tuple, dictionary, different operation, different function on how to use that. We have seen some property of list, indexing a dictionary, how to use dictionary, and we also see how to do iteration, like how to use loop, range function, how to use conditional statement, right, and how to fetch. So these all things, basic thing we have covered. This is all on the basic.
Yes.
Function, maybe I will cover later. Okay. So today I want to start. So these are the basic Python. Okay. So if you practice this much, then you are good to start. I mean, with this concept, you can build something. You can try something. Okay. So because we have a limited time, this bootcamp, so this much I'm covering, and function I will cover. Okay, in some time. Okay. So let's
So
start. Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. That comprehension you were talking about
Oh, okay.
yesterday.
List comprehension. Okay. Yeah, yeah. It's a path of put loop. Okay. Okay, I will cover. Okay, let's do one thing. This function part and some remaining
Oh,
part I will cover
okay.
later. Okay. So today I wanted to start LLM. Okay, maybe I will take one more class to complete this remaining options. Okay, but meantime, whatever I have covered, this all topic, I will give you some set of questions. Okay, whatever topic we have covered, you try to practice that much. Okay, today night I will share some list of questions. Whatever topic I've covered, you
Okay,
try to
sir.
practice that. Okay, and remaining topic I will maybe one more class I will take to cover the remaining topic. Okay, so today I want to start fresh. I want to start about LLM. Okay, so how to use LLM, how to build some chatbot, those things we are going to cover. Okay, so in today class. Okay, so let me talk about what is LLM. Okay. Uh, so have you heard about ChatGPT, right? I hope you might be using ChatGPT, Cloud, Gemini.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
using, right? So actually,
Yes.
how it works. So let me talk about, okay, I'm trying to give very kind of, by the way, LLM is a very huge topic to talk about, to teach, okay? But here I'm just giving because we have limited time, so I'm giving very brief introduction how to if anyone want to understand what is LLM, you have no suppose you have no any idea about what is LLM, what is large language model. So in this class I'm trying to build some very basic concept, very basic foundation. Okay, I'm not going very depth in detail. I'm just trying to cover very basic stuff about LLM. Okay. I hope you can see my whiteboard, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, LLM. Okay, so this is what I'm going to cover. It is also called large language model. Okay, LLM. Okay, you might have what is that? So let me give some brief introduction. What is LLM and what are these things? Okay, so you might be already using. You might have heard about Chat GPT. Okay, you have heard about Chat GPT, right? You have seen the interface. You might be using a Gemini app, right? These are the these are the chatbot. You can see like these are kind of chatbot, or you can see kind of agents or kind of agents. Okay, so we have Chat GPT, we have Gemini, we have a Cloud. There are multiple chatbot. Okay, so these all chatbot. For example, let me show that Cloud, which I'm frequently use a lot of time. Okay, so this is the Cloud interface. Okay, so this is a kind of chatbot. I can type any questions here and I can get answer, right? So it's a kind of chatbot. You can say it's a kind of asset, right? So this is the UI interface. Okay, so these all things are kind of you can say it's this all Chat GPT, Gemini, Cloud. These all suppose these are we calling it UI, user interface. Okay, so and this is made for these are developed for end user. So any end user okay, and the end user who has no any technical background, just like a normal end user, okay, and they want to use this UI, this chat bot, okay, and this chat bot, okay, so this chat bot, yeah. So behind the scene, let's suppose you are end user, okay, you are somebody, suppose, yeah, suppose this is a person, okay, and this person has no any technical background, okay, and this person want to do some kind of job, any kind of thing in your personal life. So this company, like, and they have a, like, Chat GPT is developed by OpenAI, Gemini is developed by Google, okay, Cloud is developed by Anthropic. There are some big MNC companies, okay. So behind the scenes, suppose you are interacting with the Chat GPT, you give some prompt, you give something that. Uh, Suppose you have some image, whatever you want to do with the chat gpt, you give some prompt, you give some query, and chat gpt give you response back, okay. So behind the scene, this all ui, they all having, behind the scene, they having llm, they have an LL, large language model. Okay, so ChatGPT has its own LLM, which is called OpenAI LLM. Gemini has its own LLM, like Gemini. It's by Google. Cloud had its own LLM, like Anthropic. Okay, so these are also called LLM. Okay, large language model. Okay, so these all applications are connected with the LLM, and whatever, suppose you're giving some prompt, some user, some query. Suppose I have some query, any kind of query. So this LLM will generate some response. Okay, they will generate some response, and that response you can see on the Chat GPT or Cloud or Gemini. That's what happened. I think this much everybody know. Okay, so what is LLM here? This LLM. So this LLM is kind of, it's a, you can you can assume like it's a machine learning model. It's a ML model. Okay, or not ML model. It's a deep learning. Okay, so what is LLM here? Let me talk about that. So I'm not going very depth about LLM, the technical depth, because for technical, it will take some time, or we have to give another class for that. So let's understand in depth, in brief, what is LLM. Okay. So LLM is kind of, you can assume like it's a model. Behind the scene, it's a huge model. It is called a deep learning model. It's a deep learning model behind the scene. Okay, and this model is trained on multiple tasks. Uh, this model can do a lot of things. Okay, this model can deal with text data, any kind of data. It can deal with text data. It can deal with image data. It can deal with voice. Okay, it can deal with sound, something like that. Okay, so this is called multimodal. Okay, this concept, if LLM can deal with all kind of modality or different type of inputs, then it is called multimodal. It is called multimodal. Okay, so nowadays almost all the model, all multimodal. So you can give text image, you can give a text input, you can give image, you can give voice, so they can recognize, they can understand. Okay, so they work with any kind of text, any kind of input. Okay, so this LLM, okay, what is deep learning model? So this is again technical, it's very depth. Okay, so right now I know that you don't have a technical background, so just assume right now it's a kind of ML model, kind of model. It's a model which has been trained on data. Okay, for example, I'm giving example. Suppose I'm using Chat GPT. Okay, so Chat GPT, Chat GPT. It's an application. Okay, it's an UI. Okay, it is not a lot of people understand that Chat GPT is the LLM. Chat GPT is not LLM. Okay, Chat GPT is just a UI interface. Okay, and this UI interface, behind the scene, they connect with the LLM. So behind the scene, they have a model. Okay, and Chat GPT is just like UI interface. It takes the query from the user, any query, and send this query to LLM, and LLM then interpret this query, and it generates some response, and then response sent back to user. This is what happens. Okay, so LLM is kind of deep learning model. Okay, it's a huge model, and this model has been trained on some data. There's some training happen. Okay, suppose there's some architecture how to build LLM model. Those things I'm not going to cover in that technical depth. But suppose this kind of they follow some architecture. Each LLM follows some technical architecture. Generally, it is called transformer. Okay, it is called transformer architecture. Behind the scene, they are based on transformer architecture. So, what is transformer architecture? Again, it's a very deep topic. I'm not going to touch right now, but just now, just remember that all the LLM is based on the transformer architecture. Behind the scene, they have a transformer. Okay, so transformer follows some architecture behind the scene. Okay, like they have multiple piece of code. They have multiple piece of block. Okay, for example, they have an encoder block, encoder, decoder. Okay, so these are some technical terms. Okay, right now, you don't have to go in very depth. What is the transformer architecture? What is encoder decoder? But in a layman term, I'm trying to teach you in the layman term what is LLM. Okay, so LLM. Let's suppose I'm giving very layman term example. If you have no any technical background or no any technical depth, how you can understand about LLM? What is LLM? Okay, let me explain that. So just assume that there's a person. Let's suppose this is a person. Okay, this is a person. Okay, and this person has been trained on massive data. Massive data. Massive means I mean whatever data you can see on internet. Okay, for example, YouTube video, all the YouTube video, okay, all the Wikipedia page, all the news article, okay, all the books, whatever books are there, Google Books, all the publication, okay. So whatever possible, for example, all the Facebook data, okay, all the GitHub data, okay. So all the data, I'm talking about massive in a massive number, okay, in petabyte, this kind of data. So all let's assume that whatever data you can assume on internet, starting from YouTube, Wikipedia, internet, article, news, books, videos, chat, conversation, e-commerce, like social media, like Instagram, whatever data you can assume, huge data. Okay. So this model, this person is capable of understanding all that data. So this model, this person has been trained on so massive data. Okay. And how the training happened? The training part is we call it language modeling. Okay, this is a technical term. How the training happened, how the LLM is trained. So the training called language model. The last of it, LLM, this LM, okay, the last LM, it is called language modeling. Language modeling. Okay, so this all the LLM is let's suppose this person. Okay, so this person has seen all the data, all the internet, all possible data, whatever data is possible in the internet, it has seen all the data, and this person has been trained on this data using language modeling. Okay, language modeling. What is language modeling concept? Let me give example. Let's suppose if I write two statements. Okay, I write that I like. Uh, okay, let's suppose I leave. Okay, let me like this. Suppose I'm writing I eat apple every day. Okay, this is one statement. Okay, and second I'm writing I work at Apple. Okay, so I have two statements. Okay, now tell me here the apple, because here the word apple, this apple has been used in both the sentences. Okay, I eat apple every day. I work at Apple. Okay, so the word, the spelling is same, apple, apple. Okay, but do you think this apple and this apple are same or different? What do you think?
No, they are different.
They are different, right? So how did you build that understanding as a human that this apple are different? How did you come to that point? What was your thinking process?
It's like logical understanding.
Logical understanding. Okay. So how did you come to conclusion that this app, I mean, what this apple refers to?
That is fruit and that's
This,
company.
yeah, this apple refer to fruit and this apple refer to a company, right? So as a human, your brain is very developed. So by how did you process that data that this apple is different, this apple is different? because of the context. Okay, so you're considering this word not in isolation. When you're interpreting this apple as a fruit, you are taking help of other surrounding words, right? You're not just you're not just taking just looking at the apple. You're also looking at the context about the surrounding word. Then you are taking some logical conclusion. Okay, this apple refers to fruit. For example, this apple and eat. So this word eat and apple has a very close relationship, right? So
Yes.
how did you come to know that this apple is a fruit? Because it is talking about eating. So this eat and apple has some close connection. So this apple, you figure out this apple is a fruit because of this word. If I remove this word, okay, I say I apple every day. So maybe you will get confused. Okay, what's the meaning of that? I'm not getting the exact context. Okay. So in order to determine the meaning or logical meaning of any word, your context word, your surrounding word play very important role. And we, as a human, our brain work like that. We interpret something or we find a logical conclusion about the sentence, about the natural language by not just looking the word. We interpret by the context, by the surrounding word, by the maybe we can also look at like a tonality. Even from the we also can look at the expression of human. Okay, maybe if I change my suppose I'm saying some word, but my expression is different. Maybe that word meaning will be different. So we humans, our brains are so capable that we find the logical meaning by combining multiple things, like multiple context. You have the facial expression, the tonality. Okay, so we have multiple. Our brain is so developed that we can find the logical meaning of word by combining multiple factors. Okay, so that we find some conclusion. This concept is called modeling. Okay, this is called language modeling. Okay, so here this all machine. So okay, this person is not a human. Okay, we human have a brain, so we can interpret, we can find some logic, we can find some context. Okay, but machines are not like that. Okay, so here LLM, just assume that LLM is kind of human brain, and it's very close right now. Scientists are working, so LLM is like it's very close to humans. The way human thinks, the way human interpret, the same thing is doing the LLM right now. Okay, so this LLM has been trained on language modeling. So it has seen, for example, this data, for example, YouTube data, video data, text data, news data, book data. So this person has seen all the data. Okay, and this person has been modeled like this. So this person can understand all the contextual meaning of the word, what is the relationship between surrounding words, so they can understand. Okay, so this person, so suppose if I feed this sentence to LLM, and I say I eat apple every day, tell me what is the apple refers to. So the machine will tell that okay, it's a fruit. So how this machine has been trained that they can understand, they can find the logical meaning of the word because of language modeling programming. Okay. So all the LLM, this is a very important concept. LLM, first of all, LLM has been trained on massive data like ChatGPT, Cloud. They have some almost all the data. Whatever data you can assume on internet, which are publicly available, they have seen all kind of data. Okay, and their modeling, their programming is done like language modeling. So whenever this model by training, when they have a training, so they can understand. They have trained that okay, if these are the word, okay, then this is the meaning. Okay, so let's suppose if this machine has understand, okay, I eat apple every day, I work at Apple, I have already trained my machine. Okay, let's suppose just assume that you have a servant. You have a servant, and you have trained your servant that okay, how to work, how to deal, how to go to market. Okay, and what kind of vegetable, what kind of fruits you have to bring. So your servant has become so close. You have given so much input, you have given so much instruction, you have given so much data to your servant. Now if any query comes, anything happens, now servant can tackle, servant can handle that query, anything. Okay, which you maybe you are not explicitly doing something, but maybe that servant is enough smart enough, they become so smart enough because of a lot of trainings, a lot of, because your servant has spent so much time with you, you have given a lot of instruction, a lot of training, so they can take some if you give any kind of input, they can handle it. Okay. Similarly, this LLM is so smart enough that they have been trained on massive data and they can understand the contextual meaning, everything. Okay. Every word, every sentence, they understand the relationship. Okay. This is very important. These machines are so smart. They understand all the contextual meaning, all the logical meaning, all the understanding. Okay, so that is what and how it happened. It's a programming. Again, I'm not going in very depth that how this programming happened, how this training happened. This is another. It is a very vast topic, but I'm giving very brief idea about that. This happened with the use data, and generally we use GPU. It is not we use CPU. Generally, the training happen on graphical processing unit. It's a big, huge machines, and it takes a lot of resource. Okay, it's not very easy like any individual or any person can train. It needs, I mean, the investment are in crores in them. Okay, so only big company like who can afford this. For example, like company like Meta, like Microsoft, like Google, like Anthropic, which are the big companies who has a lot of money, lot of investment. So training a model, like building a model from scratch, it needs a lot of money, it needs a lot of data, it needs a lot of resources. Okay, and this training basically takes it takes around 40 days, 50 days, 1 month, 2 month kind of training. So it's so huge. Okay, it's not. I mean, that's why this LM becomes so big. So I mean, so smart that it can understand almost everything on this universe, whatever data we have. Okay, so that's how the training happens. So that's why this LLM is so smart. And this just assume that this LLM is like a human brain. And that's what today scientists are working in this direction. This LLM is, we are giving so much intelligence to this LLM. Okay, it becomes so intelligent going day by day, that it is very coming very close to human brains. Okay, the way humans thinks, the way humans interpret any natural language, okay, like English, like different language or any kind of natural language, LLM has that gaining that kind of capability. Okay, so this is how LLM works. They have a huge training, including the language modeling. So LLM can understand all the sentences. They can understand the logical meaning, contextual meaning, the surrounding meaning. They can find the way you think about any sentence, any natural language, that human LM can also think like that. Okay. So, but how the training happened, that's another things like it's a technical thing, like how to train the model, how to build the model from scratch, like their data preparation, how to prepare their data, okay, and then how to do the language modeling. This is the concept, how to apply the language modeling. That's a technical term. I'm not going in that direction, but these are the things happening. Okay. So just assume that LLM is very capable machine. It's a machine only. It's a machine only. Okay, it's a deep learning. Basically, it's a deep neural network. Okay, it's a deep neural network machine only. It's a machine learning model, deep learning model, but it has been trained on massive data, and the training always happens with the language modeling. Okay, that is why it is called large language model. So last LM is called language modeling. Okay. And what is language modeling? Like this, it understands all the word, all the context around all the surrounding words and find the logical meaning. Okay. The way as a human think, the way you think, okay. Similarly, machine is also thinking that way. Okay. And nowadays, LM is becoming so powerful, they can take their own decision. They can take own decision. Okay. And let's suppose they made some mistake, they can correct the mistake. It is more powerful. Suppose first time they find, okay, this is the thing. No, I thought no, this is good, this is wrong thing. They can make the adjustment. They can make the correction. Okay, they can remember. Okay, they can suggest. So LLM is becoming so powerful, and nowadays a lot of company are investing huge money in behind LLM, like company like Google, Microsoft, Meta. They are investing a lot of money building the LLM. Okay, so this is the LLM. I try my best to give a very logical understanding. I'm not cover the very technical depth. Okay, but this is what if you have no idea about LLM, what is LLM? So LLM is kind of deep neural network. It's a huge machine. Okay, they have a train on massive data, and the training happened with the language modeling. And they can understand as a natural language. You gives up natural language like Hindi, English, whatever language. They understand all the languages, and they can, in whatever language you're giving, okay, they can understand the understanding, they can understand the meaning of that language. Suppose fruit word, okay, if you're giving fruit in different contexts, the machine can understand, okay, this fruit belongs to here, in this talking about this. Okay, so this way this LLM works. Okay, yeah, any doubt you have? I know that very
No.
technical,
Yeah.
cover that.
It
Okay,
was, yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
yeah, so this is how LLM works, and behind this you can see that's for example this board. Okay, this is not LLM. Okay, this is the cloud interface, this is a UI. Okay, if I write any query here and then it interact with the LLM behind the scene, in the backend they have a LLM. Okay, so a lot of people understand that ChatGPT is LLM, it's just a UI, it's a chat. Okay, now next thing I want to cover, if we have the basic understanding about LLM. Okay, so now the next question is that why, okay, okay, LLM is good, I understand that LLM can do a lot of things. Okay, uh, let us understand first of all. Okay, let me cover more topic. Okay, there are two types of LLM. Okay, kinds of LLM. One second, let me increase the size. So, okay, I hope you got some understanding about LLM. What is LLM? Okay, why it is so. So there are two types of LLM. Okay, in market. Okay, first is called closed source, and open source. There are two types of LLM: open source and closed source. Okay, closed source is because see, building the LLM is very, it needs a lot of money, lots of investment. It's not very straightforward. Okay, so company like for example OpenAI, you might heard about OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI, Google, okay, and cloud. Okay, this company invests a lot of money. So these models, okay, whatever model I'm talking about, LLM model, these models are not publicly available. So in this category, the model which comes under closed source category. So these model are not publicly available. Okay, I mean the company has invested money on building the model, training the model, and these model are not publicly. You have to pay. If suppose you want to use or you want to access this LLM, the closed LLM, then you have to pay some money to this company. I will talk about that. Okay. Other category are, there are few model which are open source. Okay. For example, open source in sense that they have made it publicly available. These models are publicly available. You can download it maybe on a cloud machine, and you can use it. You can build application, you can build chatbot, whatever. You can do a lot of things around open source. Okay. For example, Llama, it's come from Meta, Google, Facebook. For example, like DeepSeek, which is coming from China, DeepSeek. Okay, it is again a open source. Okay, so there are a couple of models which are open source. So open source model, you don't have to pay money. It is publicly available, and you can use it. How to use it? I will talk about that. Uh, how to use it? Okay. So let me give example. Now, for example, let me give example. You can talk here. What are open source and closed source LLM model? It will give you all the example. Give me list. Okay. Let us see what are the list: open source and closed source. So see, all the model which are open source, like Llama model, it's come from Meta, like Llama 2, Llama 3, the multiple model. These are the open source. Mistral model is also open source model. Five from Microsoft, Google from Gemma, this is also open source. Falcon, there are multiple open source. Even Alibaba is from Alibaba. DeepSeek, it is from China. DeepSeek is open source. There are some couple of open source. Okay, so these models you are publicly available. You can use it. How to use it? I will talk about that. Okay, and there are some couple of lot of models which are closed source. Okay, which are not publicly available. If you want to use it, then you have to pay money. For example, GPT, OpenAI. Okay, so OpenAI has GPT model, GPT-3. It is called GPT. That LLM, we call it GPT. GPT 3. Right now, GPT-5 is the latest one. GPT 3.5, GPT-4 Turbo. These are the GPT models which come from OpenAI. It's a closed model. Okay, Cloud, Anthropic, Cloud 3, Cloud Sonnet. These are all the closed model. Gemini, it's again a powerful model. Google. Uh, the current one is Gemini 3. Recently, it has been released. So it's again closed model. Okay. So these are the basic. Anthropic is also closed model. So like GPT, Cloud, Gemini, these are the very coherent. These are the closed model. And Meta, Llama, these are the open model. I mean, these are publicly available. Okay. So now one thing I want to talk about how to this model. Okay, how you can access this model. Okay, well I will give a. We will understand. We will see that how to access model. So how to access? Okay, as of now, I hope you're getting some clarity. What is LLM? Okay, let me recap. Very brief recap. What is LLM? I cover. You got understanding. LLM is a machine. It's a machine learning model. It's a deep learning model which have been trained on massive data. It has capability to interpret the word, the contextual meaning. Okay, it can deal with natural language. It can deal with image, text. Okay, and it has been training on the language modeling. This word you have to remember, language modeling. They have been trained by language modeling. Okay, so there are two types of model: open source, closed source. Okay, so for example, let me talk about closed source model. Closed source, closed source model. Okay, so how to access this kind of model? Where I can access? How to access? What are different platform where I can access? I can use it. Okay, so there are multiple ways. Uh, for example, there are two ways. Okay, for example, I want to access OpenAI, which is a closed one, GPT model. OpenAI model, which is a GPT model. Okay, I want to access GPT model. How to access it? So there are two approach. One each see this all model is like this company, OpenAI company. These are the company basically. They build this model. So they have given own platform. Okay, this company has its own platform, which we will see right now. They have hosted. Okay, this all model is hosted by this company on their platform. Okay, so you can either access their platform directly. For example, OpenAI has a platform, and they have deployed the model, the all model publicly, and not publicly. You have to pay for that, and you can access it. So all the model like OpenAI has its own platform. We will see that. Okay, Google has its own platform. Okay, Anthropic has its own platform. So they have hosted this model on their platform. You have to pay some money, and you can access it. You can use in your program, in your application. This is one way. Second way is the cloud. Okay, these all models also available on the cloud provider. So what are the cloud provider? Like we have three provider like AWS, Amazon Web Services, like GCP, Google Cloud Provider, GCP, and Azure from Microsoft. Okay, so you can also access this model from the Google, from the cloud itself. Okay, for example, GCP, you can access this you can from the GCP you can access OpenAI, you can access Gemini model. So these all cloud providers also hosting these models nowadays. Okay, you have to pay money for that. It is not free. You have to pay money for that. But this cloud providers host this all model, and you can access it. So there are two approach to access this closed model. Either you can use their own platform directly. It's a direct approach. Okay, you can go to their platform like OpenAI platform, Google platform. Okay, go their platform. You can subscribe for the model. You can pay for the model, and you can start using. Okay, second is the cloud. Suppose you're building on the cloud platform, you're already building some application on the cloud platform. Even the cloud providers host this model, and you can access it. There are two approaches for the closed one. Okay, for the open source model. Okay, any doubt here? Did you understand this concept, the hosting part, how this LLM are hosted?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so right now I will give a demo about this one, how to access this model from the platform. Cloud part I'm not going to cover this bootcamp. Okay, this part I will cover. That's how to access some model from their platform, and we will see that. going forward. Okay, this is about the closed source. About the open source model, whatever I cover, like Llama model, Mistral model, all the open source model, which you don't have to pay money. Okay, open source model, how to access this model. Okay, so for the open source model, there's some platform, like there's a Hugging Face. This is one a company, Hugging Face. Okay, so this Hugging Face also deploy host this open source model. So all the model like Mr. Llama, you can also access from the Hugging Face. So Hugging Face is also kind of company which host, which deploy a lot of open source model. Okay, so you can go to, I will show that, I will give a demo. So Hugging Face is a company, is a platform where it hosts, it deploy a lot of open source model. You can access and can use it, all the open source model. Okay, this is one approach. Second approach is that no, I don't want to use Hugging Face. Okay, because these models are publicly available. I want to deploy that model in my machine, maybe in my laptop, or maybe in my on my suppose I have a company, I have a big company, I have my own cloud, I have my own infrastructure. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, so for that we have to use called tool Olama. Olama. Okay. So with the help of Olama tool, you can download this open source model in your machine itself. Suppose in your laptop, okay? In your laptop itself, with the help of Olama, you can download this model, open source model, and you can start using it. Okay, so there are two approaches. You can use Hugging Face. Hugging Face already deployed this model. You can start using that, or you can use Olama. Okay, so I will in this class I will I will cover these two part, like how to use the platform itself. Okay, like OpenAI, Gemini model, how to access from the directly from the platform, and also some public model like Llama model, how to access from Hugging Face. Okay, so this is the deployment, or I mean, this is how the models are available today. Either they can use from directly in their platform, or you can use from cloud or Hugging public and Hugging Face or Olama. Okay, so this is the distribution or deployment of model where the models are available right. Yeah, any questions, any doubt here? Do you understand that?
No, sir, it's clear.
Okay. Okay, so I cover, let me recap. I covered all the LLM for a different LLM, closed LLMs, open LLM, where they're available. Okay. Okay. Now I think you've got some understanding what is LLM, how they're available, where they're available, and how they work. Okay. Let me see a couple of things which I can cover. I have a slides. I will share the slide with you. I think mostly whatever I discuss, I think everything is there in this slide. So LLM is kind of it understand, generate. One more thing, okay. With the help of LLM, what you can do right now, you got understanding. Okay, these are the LLM, right? Okay, these LLM are on open source, close understanding you have. Now I want to understand with the why I'm studying LLM. Okay, why I should study, or why LLM? What is why LLM? Okay, what LLM is capable, what LLM can do, what it can do. Let us understand that. Okay, and today why a lot of company and a lot of application are integrating. Suppose you have application right now, you have some build some application. It can be Java application, .NET, any kind of application. You have multiple applications. Okay, so right now what is happening in the industry? They are integrating application, existing application, or they're building new application to solve their business problem, and they are integrating LLM inside their existing application or in their tech stack. They are integrating LLM, okay, and they're trying to solve a lot of business problems with the help of LLM. So let us understand what LLM can do. I mean, what are the tasks? What they have a capability to do? Okay, so for that, I'm just going to search here. Okay, tell me what LLM can do, or what they have the capability. So this is very important to understand why I should study about LLM, what they have a feature, what they have a capability, and what kind of problem I can solve with the LLM. Okay. So let us see what they can do. They can do a lot of things. That's why it's becoming so popular and we're integrating in the existing application. So I will talk about that. So my intention here is to build some context. Okay. So see, today LLM can do a lot of things. Okay. For example, language understanding and generation. Okay. So because LLM is so capable, it has so brain, it has been trained on so massive data with the language modeling. It can understand the context. It can understand the logical meaning. And it can just like a human, we understand the logical understanding. Okay, same thing LLM can do. Okay, so we can do a lot of things like we can do. It can comprehend complex text. It can understand the context, nuances. It can generate human-like text on virtually any topic. Suppose you want to write essay. Okay, you want to summarize something. You want to suppose you have some big complex notes. You want to summarize the notes, or suppose you want to write, you want to generate something. Okay, so the LLM has this much capability. They can write something, they can generate something just like a human can do. They can adopt the writing style. Suppose I want to use in personalized tone. I want to write in different tone. Okay, I want to write some like professional tone. You just give the tonality, you can understand. So they understand everything about contextual meaning, the nuances. So that's why they're powerful. Okay, so it's very good at generation sound. You can write LinkedIn posts, you can write video, you can create. You can create some article, you can create some essay, you can create some news article, you can write some marketing messages. You can do a lot of things from LLM. You can write some LinkedIn post, okay? And this is for generation part. So you can summarize something. You can suppose you have a big notes. You want to summarize it. Suppose here, for example, right now I'm giving the class, right? So for this class, we can make a note of my voice, okay? And this voice, what I'm saying right now, this can be converted into text. So I can build application that whatever I'm saying in the class, what I'm talking about, it's a voice, right? So this voice can be converted into text. Okay. And this text, whatever I'm talking about, this text I can summarize. So suppose I'm taking 2 hours of class. So I want to take a note that what I taught, what I want to build a summary of that my 2 hours of class. I can summarize it. So LLM can do that. I'm just giving one practical example. Okay, like that. So you can, and also nowadays this is very important, code development. You can write code like Python code. Okay, suppose you have a problem, you have some problem statement, and you want to write a code. You just tell LLM, that chat GPT, that I want, this is my case, I want to write a code. So today it can write a very good code. You don't have to become programmer. You have to just give the context that this is my case, I want to do this, build the code. It can do all the things for you. So nowadays, code generation has become very super powerful. So it can write any kind of code, like programming code, like it can debug the code. Okay, it can solve the mathematical problem. You can give any kind of mathematics problem, calculus, integration, algebra, numerical, whatever. It can solve all the problems today. It's so powerful. Okay, it can do reasoning. Suppose you have a very complex problem, logical problem. Okay, you have a very complex data pattern, and you want to make some logical inference from that. It can understand the logic. It can understand the logical meaning. Okay, so this become powerful. Content creation, a lot of people are doing that. You want to suppose you can give the context, and it can build some. It can generate the what do you call the context. Okay. For example, let me show this. For example, I do a lot of good content creation. If I show my LinkedIn, so generally use I build a lot of content using LinkedIn, using LLM. Let me show example. For example, you can see that. See, these all things are, it is not human written. This everything is written by LLM. For example, you can see my post. Uh, this post, okay. This post I have not written. It is built by AI. This picture also built by AI. Okay. This picture is also built by AI. This picture also built by AI. and it looks like very human touch, but this has everything is built by AI. Okay, so this is what is so much capability it has, and it can do human you have a legal document. Okay, it can nowadays AI has solved the cases also. They have multiple instances where lawyer judges were not able to find uh, they were not able to solve the case. Okay, but the AI can solve the case. It can give the judgment. You don't need you don't need a judge right now. Okay, LM is so powerful, the AI is so powerful that it can give the right judgment. You just give the context, you just fit the law. This is the law, this is how it works. Okay, and give the scenario. This is the scenario. It can give the judgment. Okay, so it can replace lawyer. It can replace the judges. Okay, so powerful. It can scan the, suppose you have some image, you have some scan, suppose some medical scan. Okay, you don't need doctor. Even LM can do that. It can scan the whole picture and it can give the report. This is so powerful. Okay, so you can do classical sentiment. Suppose you have a suppose there's a movie going on. Okay, and in that movie there are a lot of people are posting movie is good, movie is bad, whatever. Okay, and you want to get the sentiment that how the people are talking about the movie, something like any topic, any product, any movie. So you can do that. Okay, sentiment analysis. Okay, so there are a lot of things agentic, and nowadays LLM is so becoming powerful. They can generate something and they can make a decision whether this is the right or wrong. They can make the correction in their content. Okay, and they can connect with the external world. They can suppose you want to book a flight. Okay, so suppose you build application, LLM can connect with the different machine, different server, external world. So it's becoming very powerful. And multimodal modality, multimodal, it can deal with multiple kind of like it can deal with text data. You can give a text, you can build an image, you can give an image and you can ask some question. So you can deal with image, you can deal with voice. It is called multimodality. It is not only with the text. Okay, you can give any scan image, any voice, any text data. It can deal with any kind of. Okay, so that's why it's very powerful, and all the segment they have used that. So just assume that LM is very close to human mind. There are some limitation. Okay, but it's coming. I mean, it's becoming so powerful in upcoming days that uh, nowadays people are talking about AGI. Okay, uh, where is that? There are nowadays what the uh, scientists are working in that direction. Uh, Artificial general intelligence. Okay, it is called AGI. Okay, artificial general intelligence. Okay, so this LLM is becoming so powerful. They are becoming very generic, very generic. Okay, so they can. I mean, as a human, I mean, they are becoming so close to human that they can think almost just like a human. Okay, and they can take their own decision. They can correct it. They can refine it. They can talk to different system. They can train the other model. They are becoming so powerful then they can do a training also. So I mean, it's going in different direction. So that's why it's very powerful. LLM is very powerful. Okay, yeah, so this is what LLM can do. It has a lot of capability. You just Google it. Okay, what the LLM has a capability, what they can do, and what kind of application we can build. You will find a lot of use cases. Okay, so these were some context I wanted to put. I hope you're getting some interesting insight about LLM. What is LLM?
Yes, sir, sure. Surely.
Okay. So right now I covered that what is LLM. I will share this slide with you. So this is what I have, whatever I'm talking about, same thing I've covered here. Okay. It can generate, it can reason with the language. It is the neural network, transformer architecture. It is based on transformer architecture. It can use in chatbot. You can build chatbot. It can do summarization. You can do question answer. You can translate. Suppose from one language to another, any kind of language, from Hindi to English, English to Hindi, French to Japanese, any kind of language. You can ask LLM chatbot to translate. You have some English, you can transport some other language. Text generation, you can generate something, summarization, you can do code generation. Pretty much, I think almost you can do a lot of things with the LLM. Okay. So how the LLM started, it's a history. I'm not covering the history, but it has started from the 2017. Okay, before 2017, a lot of things happened. Okay, but in 2017, an architecture came which called transformer. Okay, and then everything has started from there. So that's what it becomes so powerful. So actually, this journey, if you talk about how this AI LLM got started, it has started from 2017. Okay, and for last 2 to 3 years, now companies are starting using this model in their project, in the application, okay, like in retail, in healthcare, in insurance, in banking, in all sectors, they are integrating the AI right now. Okay, so these all things. So there are a lot of things happen. It was a like coming to this year, coming to building LLM. It was not very straightforward. A lot of things happened behind the scene. It's a long history, but actually it started from 2017 era. It's called transformer era. Okay. So, and GPT, it's an OpenAI model. There are a lot of models coming now. GPT, Google model, Anthropic model. Okay, and nowadays Google is catching they're catching the race now. Right now, Google has recently published Gemini 3 model. It's very powerful, and it is doing a very good job. Okay, so the GPT, this is how the GPT started. I started with GPT 1, then 2, 3, 4. I mean, right now it's 5 right now, which is the latest from OpenAI. Okay, so there are multiple model I've written here for GPT. GPT come from OpenAI, it's a provider, and GPT they have multiple versions: GPT 3.5, GPT 4, GPT 5 Cloud. Gemini models coming from Google. Llama is from Meta. Okay, Mistral is from Mistral AI. Okay, Bert is from Google. There are multiple. These are the open source model. Okay, Grok is from Elon Musk XAI company. 5 from Microsoft. So there are multiple model. Okay, so they can process text, they can process image, they can process audio, video, code. Okay, this all things. This is called multimodal. Okay, so this is what LLM about the LLM which I covered. This is in the slide also, but I give a lot of foundation about LLM. What is LLM? How it works? What kind of LLM they are? Open source, closed source, and what they have a capability. Okay. Any
Yes.
doubts?
No, sir. All clear.
Okay. All right, so now let us do some practice. So it was a theory right now. So let us see in which I cover, right? Suppose, let me open this file. Okay, I talked about that how to access the model. Okay, there are two approaches, right? Uh, Open source model and closed source model. Okay, so I'm starting with the closed source model because closed source model is more powerful. Let me talk. I'm talking about. Come on. Not again. Yeah, so I covered this part, right? That how to access the model. Okay, so let us talk about the closed model like OpenAI, Gemini model, because this is very popular models. And nowadays, most of the company in project they use either GPT model is very popular. OpenAI model, Google model, Gemini model is very popular. So let's I will cover two model, OpenAI, how to use OpenAI and how to use Gemini model and how to use Llama model. Okay, so these are the closed source model. So how to access them? There are two approaches. Either they can use, you can go their own platform. They have their own platform. Okay, and 1 second. Okay. Okay, so how to access this model? I cover, right. So I talk about like OpenAI model, GPT model. Okay, so they have on their platform. Okay, they host this all model like GPT model on their own platform. Okay, this is one approach. And second approach is the cloud provider. You can also access this model on the cloud. Okay, so cloud part I'm not going to cover. Okay, so I'm going to cover. I'm going to show you how to use this model on their platform. Okay, from OpenAI, from GPT. Okay, Gemini model. Okay, so let us see. Okay, so how to access them? Okay, So in order to access them, I told right that every provider, whether you're using OpenAI or Google or Llama, they have some platform. They have given, they are hosted their model on the platform. Okay. So for example, OpenAI platform, you can just do a, suppose you're just a Google type, just to do OpenAI platform, OpenAI platform. Okay. So let us see how do this platform. Okay. So go to the platform, OpenAI platform. Suppose I want to use OpenAI model. So go to the platform. So this is the interface. Okay. OpenAI model, you have to log in. Okay. Just do a login here. Just you can first time you can register. If you have, you can do sign up here. There's a sign up button. You can do sign up. Or once you done it, you can log in. Okay. So here, you go there. You can do login. Let me again share. Okay. So I have also, I will share this file with you. Okay, I've saved this notepad. Okay, this file with you. I've also mentioned here. This is the I have given the link also. So this is the OpenAI platform. Okay, so you can log in there. First, you have to register with your email ID, and then you can register. You can log in here. Okay, once you log in here, uh, because I told right, this is these are not the free model. These are the closed models. So you have to pay something if you really want to use this model from their platform. First of all, you have to pay for them. Okay, so how to, you have to, maybe it's a subscription model. Okay, so you have to pay some subscription. So how to go, you can go to their icon here, go to profile. Okay, and in the profile there's a billing section. Okay, so come to billing section, and here you have to recharge. It's more like a mobile recharge. Okay, so right, you can see I have this much balance. So maybe you can recharge with $1 or $2. $2 is quite enough. Okay, so first thing, you have to add some credit here. You have to recharge something. Okay, maybe you have to add the payment method here. I've already added here. So first thing, you have to recharge. Okay, so because it's not a free one, so you have to recharge it, add to credit. You have to, you can amount, you put some amount like $1, $2. I think $2 is good enough. You can start with $2. If you have a credit card, then you can recharge. Okay, it's not a free one. Okay, OpenAI is not a free one. So once you recharge here, okay, then you can start using it. Okay, so this is the first thing you have to do. You have to recharge here. Okay, and then after recharging, you have to create API key. Okay, in order to use the model, this model in your application, you have to use API key. First, to recharge it, then use API key. Okay. So already I have some API key. I can create new API key from here. Okay. For example, like this, create API key. You can give some name here. Anything like I'm giving some name. Okay. And create some projects here. Okay. You can be default also. Suppose you have no project, then you can go to default project. Okay, and create a secret key. Okay, secret keys got created. Okay, and you have to copy this key somewhere. Okay, maybe in notepad somewhere at secure place, you have to copy somewhere. Okay, so I got this key, I done. Okay, now I have the recharge, I got the account, I recharge it, I have the API key. Okay, and this API key I can use in my application. So these are the prerequisites. Okay, and then suppose you want to, these are the they have this platform. You can do a lot of things on this platform. Okay, go to dashboard. Okay, in the dashboard, you can create. I mean, you can write some prompt. You can do a lot of stuff here. API is there. You can do a lot of stuff here. Okay, but generally, people we will use in the application. Okay, they also have a documentation. Suppose you want to learn about what is OpenAI, what they have, how to use their LLM. Okay, how to use their API. So they have a documentation. Who is Ayan?
Sir, it's me. I'm joining from the other device.
Okay.
This laptop is discharging.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
Can you mute yourself? Okay. Yeah. So they have a okay. So there's a platform. They have a docs also. Okay. So docs is nothing but all the documentation. Okay. How to use my API. They have given the API. Okay. You know what is API? Let me explain that. What is API concept? Maybe you don't have idea. Let me explain API. If you have a programming concept, then I think you know API. I think Ansita, you might be knowing what is API. So what happened? No, I told right this OpenAI. Okay, this OpenAI. For example, I'm talking about OpenAI, right? This is OpenAI, right? So OpenAI, okay, they have a model. They have a GPT model. They have a LLM GPT model. Okay, and this model has been hosted somewhere. Actually, they have hosted on some server. So let's suppose this is a server. This is server. Okay, server in sense, suppose it's a machine, it's a use machine where there has been hosted this model, a GPT model. Okay, and suppose this is my application. This is what I want to build some application. Okay, and I want to use this model, this GPT model. Okay, so in order to use the model, first of all, I need access key, API key, which I just now I created. I need API key. Okay, and this model, whatever model they have, I mean, it is called API. It is called Application Programming Interface. Okay. So what happened? What is the API talk? Basically, API is just like uh, suppose you have built something. Okay. Suppose you have some feature suppose you have product. Okay. And you are telling the external world that, okay, I have a product like GPT. Now I'm giving you permission that use it. Okay, because this product I have built for external world, go ahead and use it. Okay, but because this product has been developed by uh, OpenAI, so I have no any idea about the product, but I want to use it, right? So for that, so what they give you interface. It is called interface. Okay, this model they give you interface. Okay, interface, and with this help of this interface, you can use the product. This product has been built by GPT, OpenAI, but I have no any idea about product right now, what the product is, how to use it. So that is why suppose you want to build a product, okay, and you want to allow the external world to use the product. So you have to expose some interface, some way, so that external world can start using it. So interface is more like a contract. You can assume that it's a contract, okay? It's a contract between you, application, and this service provider that okay, if you want to use my product, you have to follow some rule, you have to follow some interface, you have to follow some contract. Okay, so that's what you have to learn, that how to use this their API, how to you have to learn their API so that you can start using the product. Okay, so this is the concept of API. So if you really want to use their product, you should know about the API, and the API talks about the rule, the contract, how to use my product. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do here. So you can go to docs. Okay, this is the docs. Okay, and they have given you a set of, I mean, what is that? This is just a set of rules and set of function. Okay, how to use that. Okay, so for example, let's suppose I go here, text generation. Okay, you can go there. They're all. I mean, even if you have some knowledge, then you can understand all things. I think you don't know teacher. Okay, so how to use this API? They have given very nice documentation. Okay, how to use it. Okay, so for example, suppose I want to interact. Suppose this is my use case. Let's suppose I have an OpenAI model. This is suppose OpenAI model. Okay, OpenAI model. This is my OpenAI model, and this is I want to build some chatbot. I want to build some application. I want to use their model. Okay, I want to send some query. Okay, and this query will be sent to OpenAI model. They will understand because this model are capable to understand. I discussed right what they have a capability. So they will do their job. They will interpret. They will understand. They will generate some response, and they will send you the response back. Okay, this is what I want to do. So I have a OpenAI, I have their API key, I know their interface, I know their API. I'm going to use, I'm going to build an application, I'm going to use their API. This is what I'm going to do right now. Very simple. Okay. So how to use that? It's very simple. So they have, I told that they have OPI, they have API. So they have, they support multiple programs. I mean, multiple programming language. Their APIs I mean, suppose I have built a product, right? So they are building application. So they can support multiple programming languages. So they support this API is available in JavaScript language, Python language, C Sharp, Java, Go, Curl. Even in the Java, you can use that if you have a Java background. But I'm going to use in Python. Mostly it is I'm going to use in Python. Okay. So they have exposed this API. So suppose I want to chat. I have some query and I want to chat with a model. How to do that? So this is the code you have to, you have to practice it or you have to make use of that. You have to understand their API, their language, and then you can start using it. Okay. For example, they have an OpenAI library. Okay. You have to import it. This is the import statement. Then you have to create a client. Okay. So this client is nothing but, okay, I'm creating a client. Suppose this is my app. Okay. This is my application, and this application is talking to remote server OpenAI. Okay, so in order to connect to this app to this server, I need a client. This is a client server called kind of architecture. Okay, so I need a client, OpenAI client, and this client I will send the request. I will send the query to this client, and this client will internally connect to this OpenAI over internet using HTTP. Okay, they will connect with OpenAI. So for that, I need to build a client. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so this code client, okay, it is building the client. So you need a client first. Okay, and then from the client, okay, and this is the code. Maybe you have to remember this. You don't have to remember. You can come to this site. Okay, their documentation. You can just copy paste. Okay. So from the client, okay, I'm creating the, I'm giving the model, which model I want to talk to. Okay. So OpenAI has multiple models, GPT-1, GPT-3, 4, 5. You can use any model. You have to choose a model. Okay. And here you have to give input. So this input is a query that what you want to do. Okay. So this input you have to give. That's what. And then it will go to, this will send a request to OpenAI over internet, and you will get the response back. Okay. And that response you have to display. You can, whatever you want to do with the response, you can do here. So this is very simple. If you know the programming, like how to make a request remote call, it is pretty much like a client server kind of call. Okay. You are just making a RESTful call. Okay. Over internet. And this is the response. And also always the response, if you know the REST call, the response you will get a JSON format. Okay, it is called JSON. Uh, uh, 1 second. The response, if you make a call, what happens? Suppose this is your application, and this is your LLM model. You're sending the request to the client. Okay, then this client will generate the response, and it will send you JSON. Okay, so JSON is nothing but, you can assume, like suppose you know Python, right? So in Python terms, it's just like a dictionary. Okay, just like a dictionary. Okay, so dictionary has a key value pair. There are some key and value, colon value, right? So this LLM will give you dictionary. Okay, I will show you right now. Okay, for example, suppose if I send this request, write a one sentence bedtime story about a unicorn. This is your query. Okay, you send this query to LLM. Okay, so LLM is sending this response. And just like you can see that this response is, it's called JSON, but you can see that if you try to understand the Python term, it's more like a key value pair. It's more like a dictionary. Okay, you can see that it's a curly braces, right? It's a curly braces. So this is a dictionary. Then ID is my key, and this is my corresponding value. So it's a key value pair, right? What is the ID? What is the type? What is the role? What is the content? And this content is another. It's a key, and the value is a list. You can see it's a list, right? It's a list, and inside the list I have a dictionary. So this is what it give you. It give you a dictionary kind of JSON response. Okay, so you can come here and you can interact with the model. Okay, so for that I have already created some program. Okay, I will share with you. Okay, so let us understand. So I will share this program. You can try it. You can run your local. Let us see how to use it. Okay. So first of all, I have written all the steps. You have to, first of all, you have to create an account in OpenAI. You have to recharge maybe $1, $2, because it's not a free, it's a closed source. So you have to recharge with OpenAI. Okay. Make sure you have a credit. Okay. And then you can start, and then you have to create API key, just like I have API key right now. Okay, these are the pretty much prerequisite to do that. Okay. And then once you have that, then you can build application, and you can build draft. You can do a lot of things, analytics, whatever you can do, right? Okay, so how to do that? Suppose I'm writing a Python program. So first of all, you have to download their package, OpenAI. Okay, so OpenAI is the API by OpenAI which help you to connect with the model. So first thing, card you have to install the model. Not model is a API. Okay, so in Python, how to install? If you know Java, right? In Java, we use Maven dependency management. We install their third-party library. So basically, you are installing a third-party library, which is OpenAI. Okay. So in Python, we do pip install. This is the command. Okay. So this is the command to install third-party library inside the Python. Because OpenAI is not the it is not a Python library. It's a outside of Python. It's a third party. So here you have to do pip install OpenAI. So this will install the OpenAI library in your local application. Okay. So let me run this. So let me connect this. I will give a demo right now. So how to use it. So, but I will suggest you go to their documentation. Okay, go to their this one. You have to study it, and it's pretty much if you know Python, then it's very easy to understand. Okay, this is more like a you're just making a function. It's connected, right? Okay. So now I'm going to install, first you have to install the OpenAI. I'm going to run this. So it will install the OpenAI library in my local machine. Okay, it's got installed. Okay. After that, you have to write a statement in the documentation, right? You have to import the library. So from OpenAI, import OpenAI. I think you can remember this statement. So that's what I'm doing here from OpenAI. Actually, guys, you don't have to remember the code, okay? Don't try to memorize the code. All the codes are publicly available, okay? Just try to understand the concept, the logic, the concepts. Even I don't remember the code, to be honest. Nobody remember the code. You don't have to memorize the code, okay? Just think about just understand the steps, the concept, the logic, okay? So I installed the OpenAI, then I'm importing their library, okay? So now I can use the API, okay? And after that, I have to use, API, okay? If you really want to connect with the model, you have to use an API key. So I got API key. So this API key I will use here, okay? So here, you just give the API key here, like this, whatever you will create, just put the API key, okay? And then, and you're creating a client here, okay? From the OpenAI, you're creating OpenAI client, you're giving the API key, okay? These all code are there, okay? This all code you can find in their documentation page. Everything is there, okay? And let's suppose even you're not, don't know, you can do chat GPT. Chat GPT will give you all of those. But try to understand the logic here. So here I'm connecting the client. I'm creating a client, OpenAI client. I gave my OpenAI key, API key, and let's correct the things. Okay. So this way I can, but generally in program we don't write key here. Okay. We have a different way to handle it. But for just right now, just assume that this is the key, this is the way I have to write it. Okay. So I got the API key. So my client is ready right now. Okay. You can ignore this part. Okay. So now my client is ready. API token. This is the client. Okay. So once you create this client, okay, your client will get created. Okay, let me see that whether the client is there. But let me print the client. Okay. Let us see what is print. Okay, so you're getting some object here. So it's client is ready right now. Okay. Suppose I want to see the type, what the data type it is. So all your Python logic will come here. Okay. So is the OpenAI, it's coming from OpenAI library. Okay. I want to see the all the function method, what are the different function they have. So I can use dir function and let us see what they have different operation. You can see they have different operation. Okay, like API key, there are bunch of there are multiple things. Okay, you don't have to remember everything. Okay, so the client is ready right now. Okay, I can make sure that my client is ready. So the client is ready. Okay, now from this client I can interact with the model. Okay, so there are a lot of operations you can do. For example, I want to see that this client, I mean OpenAI, what they have different kind of models. Okay, so it will give all the different types of model that what they have, like they have a GPT-4o meaning, uh, GPT-4o audio preview. They have multiple models, bunch of models. Okay, so you want to see that, you can see all the models. Okay, otherwise you want to see the model that what are the different model they have. You can go to their page. They have a list of all the models. There should be some models page. We'll Google it. OpenAI all models. Yeah, so they have all the list of models on their documentation page. Yeah, so they have this model like GPT-5.1, it's the latest one, GPT-5 mini, GPT-5 nano, GPT 5.1. These are GPT-5.1, GPT-5 series, GPT-4 series. Okay, Sora is another model for video generation. Sora is for video generation. Delay is for image generation. It is got duplicated. At a delay, GPT real time, GPT audio for audio, GPT-5 for chat, GPT-4, GPT-5. So you can get all the, you can just study it. There are a lot of models they have. GPT-4, delay 3 is also duplicated. Delay to duplicated. Okay. These are for image generation. TTS is for text to speech generation. Okay. So you can come here, you can see all the listed models. Okay. So let us see the GPT-5, GPT-4. These are the latest one. And here also, from here also you can get all the list. GPT 3.5 Turbo. Okay. So for practice के लिए, for working for practice के लिए, you can use GPT 3.5 because its cost is very less. Okay. The token, how much they will charge, pricing. Yeah, you can go to the pricing page. Okay. You can see that, okay, how to check how much it will cost you. Okay. So before selecting a model, make sure that you have recharged, and also before using any model, first you check that how much it is going to cost you. This is very also important. Okay, so you can see that for example, GPT, if you're using GPT 5.1, okay, for input, there are two things, for input and for output. Okay, input in sense, suppose you're giving some what is in, let me explain that. What is input output? So how the input work, let me explain that. Okay, so there are two costs. Okay, when you're using this model, okay, the cost, how to do the cost analysis. Okay, so thing is the input, what input you're giving. Okay, so in the input you're giving some query, right? And in the query, what are the token size and how many characters, what are the tokens you have? For example, like this, suppose I have this query. Let me show you. Yeah, so this is my query. Okay, this is my query. So here you have to count the tokens. So each word is a token. If I give, me, a number, okay. So these are the token size. Okay. So how this model charge you? They charge you per tokens. How many tokens? Suppose you're sending a query. So in the query, how many tokens you have? How many words you're sending to LLM? They can charge per token. Okay. So the pricing the pricing strategy is based on the token. So in the input, okay, what is the token size? How many words we're sending to process the model? And once you generate the output, okay, in the output, it will generate some response having multiple text, okay. So they also look into that how many text, how many tokens they are generating. So the cost will be based on the query, how many query you are sending, the token, and based on the output, how much output token are generated. They will combine it and they will put a price. This is how it happens. Okay, and the strategy is that this price is per million token. I think it's per million token. Okay, so they will charge $1 per million token. If you have 1 billion token, they will charge. One second, let me talk here. Let me check here. Explain me the cost strategy that OpenAI charge for query and output. If you want more layman term language, then it will give you more idea how they charge. So they charge per million token. It is searching on web, okay? It is finding, it is going to internet. Okay, you can see that OpenAI charges based on the token, not the word, okay? A token is roughly 4 characters, okay? For example, hello, welcome to our website, okay? You can see that how many tokens they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even they consider this also token, okay? Like comma, the spaces, this is also tokens, okay? So here, in this sentence, there are 7 tokens, okay? So how they cost? It is both input token, you query, okay? In the input, how many, suppose this is my input. So how many tokens are there? It will consider that also an output token, the model response, okay? So it considers both how much input you are sending and how much output it is generating the model, okay? So why output costs more than input? Your output costs more than, because input generally we don't give much token. Okay, output tokens are consistently 2 into 4 more expensive than input token because generating response is more computational resources. Because it is generated something, it doing some processing, so that's why it charge more. Okay, so current pricing this, for example, GPT-4o input is this is the pricing, $2.5 per million token. Okay, if you're sending 1 billion token, so per 1 million token, it will charge you this much. Okay, so this may you can calculate. Okay, this is the output for 1 million token. Okay, so let's suppose if I ask you that assume I have a query of 10 tokens and output having suppose 100 tokens. Okay, then as per OpenAI rate, what will be my cost for this query? Let us see. So its charge happened, this rate you see, it's per million. So suppose I'm sending 10 token of my query and it is generating 100 tokens. Let's see how much it will cost. So this is the calculation. Okay, so per million 2.50. So it is including calculation. So input cost will be this much, $0.00025, and output cost will be this much. So your total cost become for this, I mean for this 10 token input, 100 output token, your total cost will be this much, 0.00125, I mean 0.017. Okay, you can convert into rupees. So this much it will cost you. Okay, so this much you can suppose you're building some application, you want to do some cost analysis. You have to go their page, okay, their pricing page, and choose a model. Okay, maybe according to your budget, you have to choose the right model, how much it will cost you, and then you have to choose the right model. Okay, so here you can use GPT-5. GPT-5 is a bit expensive model because it's the latest one model. Output is costing more. Or you can try with GPT-4o mini. GPT-4o mini is also very less cost. Okay, input is charging only $0.15 and output 0.60. It's very less charge. So I think for practice scale, GPT-4o mini is good enough. It is also a good model. You can use this. It will not cost you a lot. Okay, if you recharge with $1, $2, then you can do a lot of practice. So generally, I use GPT-4 Mini for teaching of a practice, or also, yeah, GPT-4 Mini is also good. You can use this model for practice. Okay, GPT-4 for Mini, yeah, this is you can use this model. Okay, so this way you can go to pricing page and you can do calculation at how much it will cost you. Okay, so right now here I'm using GPT 3. Turbo, T 3.5 hai ki nahi? GPT 3.5 Turbo there, or they are deprecated. Okay, I don't know. Let me run this. Okay. So you got the idea, right? How to do the cost analysis. You got some understanding, right? You can come to this page and you can do the calculation. Or even you don't want to do maths, you can take help of LLM. They will do the maths. Okay, you can see that It is doing all the math for you. Okay, all right. So let us see that. So I got this model. Okay, I got this client, and how to send them. Let us see some requests. Okay, so OpenAI has two model. Let me talk about it. Okay, for text generation, I can do a lot of things. Okay, suppose I can do text generation. Okay, I mean, I'm sending the query as a text, and my response is also text. It's called text. It's a text to text. Okay, or I can do image generation. I can create some image using some model different like daily model. Okay, so you can give a text as an input, and it will like tell you to delete. You can create some image. You want to create some image. Okay, uh, you suppose you want to work with audio. You have an audio like voice, speech, and you want to process that. They have a model for that. Okay, you can try that. Okay, they have a GPT for audio preview model. Okay, these are all that things. You can do image, text, audio, or text generation. These are all things you can pretty much do. Okay. So they have two types of model. One is called response API, one is called chat API. Okay. So nowadays, chat API has been kind of a lot of people don't use it. Mostly people use response API. Okay. So for example, here also in the code also they have used a response API. Okay. So client, you just create a client, then client dot response dot create. So this is a function you have to call response dot. So we are using response API, okay, and then create. So this is the code, okay. So how to use that? So I'm using, for example, here I'm using response API. So I got a client dot response dot create, okay, and give the model name, which model you want to use, okay, and you can see the input. So model and input, okay. So in the input you have give the your prompt dot query, okay. So in the input, okay, one thing I want to talk about two things. Okay. Uh, this is a very important concept. There are two types of prompt. Okay, let me talk about the prompt first. I'm giving some basic idea. Prompt. Okay, because when you're calling the LLM, you have to give the prompt. Okay, we actually deal with the prompt. Okay, we give the prompt to LLM, and then prompt LLM will respond back. Okay, so there are two types of prompt. Okay, one is called user prompt, and one is called system prompt. Let us understand because this is very foundation. So I thought let me put some background here. Okay. So what is user prompt and what is system prompt? Let us understand that. Okay. And you want to interact with the LLM. Okay. So yes. So in order to explain this concept, I give this example. Let's suppose you have a servant. Okay. This is your servant. Okay. And suppose you have hired a servant. Suppose it's a new servant you have recently hired. Okay. And this servant has no any idea right now. Okay, so what you're doing right now, you will give some training, right? You will give some instruction initially that hey, if you want to work with me, if you want to work at my home, you have to follow these rules, you have to follow this guideline. Maybe you have to come early, you have to come by 9 a.m. And you have to clean this house, you have to do this, do and that. Suppose you have to go market, right? You have to go to this market, take this route, buy this stuff, and come by this route. Don't delay. You are giving a lot of instruction to train your servant so that they can work according to your wish or according to what you want. Okay. So system prompt is like that. Okay. Suppose LLM, because LLM is kind of ocean. Assume that it's a big ocean. It can do a lot of things. Okay. It has been trained to do a lot of things. Okay. But right now, for my specific job, for my specific work, I want to fine tune. Okay. I mean they can do everything. Okay. But I don't want to let the LM to do everything. For my specific work, I want to do fine tuning. Fine tuning means I want to train this model to do my specific job. I don't care whether this LLM can do a lot of jobs. I don't care. Okay. My job is that I have something to do. I have my own application. I have my own thing. I want to fine tune the LLM so that they can understand my job, my requirement, and they can do accordingly. Okay. So for that, that's what you're doing. This servant, right? This servant can do a lot of things. Okay. But here you're doing a fine tuning with this instruction, with this set of training. you are doing a fine tuning for this servant so that this servant can understand your requirement pretty well and that can behave according to you. So you basically doing a fine tuning. Similarly, for the LLM, because LLM is capable of a lot of things, okay, I don't want to divert the LLM. Okay. I mean, they can do a lot of things. They can apply their brain, they can apply their mind. I don't want to do that. I'm telling the LLM, hey, you don't apply your mind. Okay, whatever instruction I'm giving you, you have to behave like that. Okay. So for that, if you want to fine tune the model and you want to get your work done with a specific instruction, in that case, we use system prompt. System prompt. Okay. Understand? Because a lot of people don't understand. System prompt we use to fine tune my model to get my work done. What is my what I want to do? I want to telling I'm telling the LM to behave like to fulfill my requirement. This concept clear. What is system prompt? Understand? What is system prompt? Because this is very foundational, very important. So system prompt is just like a fine tuning. You are telling the model to behave in a certain way. Otherwise, it will do try to hallucinate because it can do a lot of things. It can do a lot of wonderful things. You are telling that no, you don't have to do wonderful things. जो मुझे चाहिए बस वही करना है. Okay, you do what I want. You don't hallucinate. Okay, so that's why you're giving a kind of initial training or you're doing a fine tuning that understand my requirement and what I'm telling you. You just behave like that. Just do the same. You just do the same thing what I'm telling you. Don't do a lot of things. So this is why we could do a system prompt. Any doubt here in a system prompt? So system, yeah. So initially we write a system prompt so that my model get grounded. It is called I'm trying to ground my model into my requirement. Okay, my data, my requirement. This is for system prompt. Another is called user prompt. Okay. So let's suppose you have given the training to a servant, you have fine-tuned the servant that you have to behave like this, you have to do this, or your servant got trained. Okay, okay, I have to now work like this. Whatever my master is saying, I will work like that with the system prompt. Okay. Now let's suppose you have the training. Let's suppose I want to give some task to my LLM, my servant. Okay. Now you have got the training, you understand my requirement, how I want to behave you. Okay. So, okay. Now I'm giving you task. Suppose I'm giving you a task that take 100 rupees, go to market and bring some vegetables. Okay. This is my task. This is my query. So this is called user prompt. Okay, so user prompt nothing but the user query that will take care by that will go to the LLM, and LLM will process according to the system prompt. Okay, whatever user prompt is sending, that will go to LLM, and if you have given some system prompt, so your request will be processed by LLM according to the system. So this is how the LLM works. Okay, so first we give some system prompt. If I want to do some specific job for my application, I do a fine tuning with the system prompt, and my LM become grounded to my requirement. They understand my requirement, a specific requirement, and they will do exactly what I'm saying with the system prompt. And then I send a query that this is my request, this is my query. You do it according to the fine tuning you have done. Okay, so this is a concept of user prompt and system prompt. I hope you get it. So here, actually here, what I'm doing here, so I have this model. Okay, here I'm not writing any system prompt. Okay, I'm just writing role user. So if you see here, input, in the input, what is input? If you know the Python, right? So in the input, I have a list. You can see that it's a list, right? This is a curly braces. So input may I have a list, and inside the list, I have a dictionary. Okay. So in the dictionary, I'm giving the prompt. Okay. Role is user. Okay, I mean it's a user prompt. It's not a system prompt. Okay, I'm saying the role is user, and content. Content is my query. Okay, I'm telling that okay, this is my query. Give me a number list of all the module one should study in the data science. Okay, here I'm not doing any fine tuning. I have not given any system prompt. Okay, so this model will behave in their own way. Whatever they have got the training, they will be on way. Okay, so here I can add system prompt as well. I will show you right now. Okay, so here I'm just giving the user prompt. Okay, so you have to give a model the input, and the input contains either system prompt or user prompt or both. Okay, here it is containing only user prompt. No, there's no system prompt. Okay, let me run this. So now it will talk to LLM, this model. Okay, it got it. It got some response. Okay, and from the let me print response first. That what the response coming. Okay, so let me print here response only. So response has a lot of bunch of item. It has a lot of things. Okay, it's a response object. It has ID. It has created. It give. I mean, once the interaction happened with the LLM, it giving a lot of details. Okay, for example, what is the metadata? Maybe what is the model they have used? Uh, okay, this is the output content structure. They're giving the content. Okay, a lot of things. So here I want to use, maybe I'm not interested in all the metadata. I'm interested only on the context, okay, in the output. So from this response, I'm calling the output text, okay. So this is what I got from the LLM. So my query was, he give me a number of list of all the modules which one should study in the data science, okay. So I got this all the list. So it giving all the topic which one should study in the data science, like math, program, number of topics, okay. Similarly, here I'm doing the same thing. I'm giving the model input. Okay. I'm giving the role user and content, my prompt. Here I'm giving the prompt, same thing. Okay. This is all thing. Uh, okay. Got it. Here, one thing I can write some system prompt. I have not written system prompt. Let me try that. Okay. So here, let me do some maybe because this is very generic work, but let me do fine tuning here. Okay. So here, what I can do, just add one more dictionary. Okay, and role you say system instead of user, say system, so it will become a system prompt. Okay, and system prompt may you have to give the instruction that how to behave, right? So let's suppose I'm giving a prompt that act like a an expert in data science. Okay, and your job is to handle a query from user only regarding data science. Okay. So act like an expert in data science, and your job is handle only query regarding data science. Okay, and answer in professional. I'm giving some I'm giving tonality, professional, and answer in professional way. Okay, don't answer anything which is not related to data science. Okay, so I have given training to LLM. You have to behave like a data scientist, expert data science, handle the job query, and answer in the professional way. Okay, and don't answer anything which is not about data science. Let us see. Okay, so this is my and okay, here I'm asking what. Okay, here I'm asking about data science. Let us see what it gives. Okay, so I got the response. Let me pull the response. Okay, it gave me 10 lists. Let us see. Let me ask something, anything which is not about data science. Okay. What is, suppose what is, let me ask some question like, what is motion in physics? Let us see how it gives answer. Oh, it is giving answer. Okay, maybe it is not. Let me ask this question. Who is the PM of India? It's a totally different topic. Okay. No, it is giving answer, okay? Because I asked something which is not which is not regarding data science. I'm asking very generic question. Who is the PM of India? It is asking, it is giving me, I apologize, but the question you ask is not related to data science. If you have any query to data science, I can answer you. Can you see that? But same time, let's suppose the previous case, suppose I have not used any system prompt, okay? And here I'm asking anything, like who is a, one second, who is the PM of India? So because this model has not been fine-tuned, so it will answer. Let us see. Yeah, you can see that it is answering. Okay, because this is very generic. Okay, this I am not using in system prompt. So this model has not been grounded. This model has been not trained according to my job. Okay, so they are using, they can ask any, they can answer anything. Okay, but you can use system prompt. You are doing kind of fine tuning, and it will not answer any specific topic. What you want, it will do the same way. Okay, so this is some concepts. I think we have take a lot of time. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, I have already given a lot of example in this text. Okay, I will share this file with you. Okay, you just upload this file in a Google Drive, and I want to do practice. Okay, first you go to your, maybe you can recharge some with money, maybe $1, $2, with OpenAI. Okay, do some practice. Okay, try something, to play with it. It's very interesting. Try some system prompt, try some, put some here query. Okay, and see what the response you're getting. You can ask any kind of query, whatever you put in chat, in chat GPT, whatever you put here, same thing you can do. Okay, with the OpenAI, with the LLM. Okay, so try with system prompt, try with without system prompt, try to give some instruction. Let us see how you're getting the response. You just play with it. It's just a fun. Okay, so this is the text generation. Okay, then you can do also image generation. Okay, so I want you to try this. You try some practice and put some query and try this API. I will share this file with you. Okay, so this was the LLM today. I put the foundation, how the LLM works, basic thing, and how to use OpenAI. Okay, and tomorrow I will talk about Gemini model, how to use Google Gemini. Okay, all right. So it's this all in class. Any questions you have?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, all right. I will share the file. Do practice. Okay, I will share it.
Okay, sir. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Good night. Take care.